Imagine you wake up one morning in the middle of the woods with no tools to aid in your survival. What is your first step? Get a lay of the land, find water streams, food, shelter. In Minecraft, the first step to survival is punching a f***ing tree. In this video, I'm going to make Minecraft's early game more logical, limiting the player's options for quick shelter, slowing down their collection of ores, and adding some tricky caveats along the way, but overall enhancing the early game experience by adding features that cater to those who play Minecraft more casually. Alright, the first step of progression in my new reasonable progression mod is to obtain sharpened flint. As you can see, you cannot punch hard blocks in this pack. So any block that has a hardness level greater than 1, you'll take damage and receive mining fatigue when you try to break it. Well, welcome to the reasonable progression mod. You want to go punch a tree? There's a tree right here. Let's punch a tree. Feel free to punch this tree. Okay, that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. And just to point out, you only take damage when you start breaking it, but if I break it anyway, I get nothing. To get around this, we have to mine gravel. We're looking for flint, and we're looking for pebbles. And, we should also probably get some dirt. It's gonna be our easiest way to get quick shelter, assuming we don't get a pickaxe by nighttime. Oh, there's gravel right here. So now, you take 1 flint and 1 pebble, and you use the pebble to sharpen the flint, creating your sharpened flint tool. This is your first axe in a new reasonable progression world. It is a one-time use, and you use it to get your first wood. So I have 3 flint and a bunch of pebbles. I'm going to make a sharpened flint, so we can use this to get our first bits of wood. This is like our makeshift axe item. But we have to get enough to make a crafting table and another axe. First tree. Alright, the sharpened flint is gonna break immediately. But we got 2 pieces of wood. I have 2 more sharpened flint left, so ow. So I'm gonna get a little bit more. I have mining fatigue because of this stupid damage. Alright, I have enough to make my first axe, and because we got so many pebbles from the gravel, I can actually skip right to a stone axe. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Okay, what do we do next? I don't know. I don't know how my mod works. We should probably find a cave and go mining. We only have 2 torches, though. But then we have step 2, new tool functions. We have the 6 pickaxe tiers right here, and the number of minerals you get from an ore is actually now determined by the tier of the tool. So let's go over here, and we actually can't mine any of this with a wooden pickaxe, but we can start with our stone pickaxe on the iron, and we'll see that we get 1 raw iron nugget. You need 9 of these to make 1 raw iron, but then if we use an iron pickaxe, I'm getting 3, and these numbers aren't exact, it's a chance. Gold pickaxe, we get 1. Diamond pickaxe, we get 1 raw iron, and netherite pickaxe, we get 1 raw iron, and all of that compounds with fortune as well. And if you look in the creative menu, we actually have nuggets for every major ore in the game. I didn't include redstone dust because it doesn't make sense for dust to have a nugget form, and I didn't include nether quartz because I was lazy. So we have coal nuggets, copper nuggets, lapis nuggets, diamond, emerald, netherite, raw iron, and raw gold. Alright, we're set. We desperately need to, like, get out of the cold, though. I do not like this biome. Or we could dig down at this, should we dig down here and try to find the lush cave? I forgot with stone pickaxes, I'm just getting a bunch of coal nuggets. I just wasted my pickaxe on 8 coal nuggets. Step 3 of this reasonable progression is collection nets. I wanted to help players who don't like mining or don't like dangerous gameplay, and give them a way to get minerals, even though this is going to be incredibly slow. So with 3 planks and 6 string, you can actually craft a collection net, which is basically like an automatic fishing net. What you do is, I don't have the recipe, so we're gonna craft it here. We get 1 collection net, we place it in the water, and now, on average, it takes about 10 minutes, but we'll eventually get a fishing drop. There we go, we got our first drop, and we got raw cod. Now, there's a lot of options in here. It can come up with raw cod, we could get raw salmon, pufferfish, tropical fish, kelp, ink sacs,
I believe we can get lily pads, so there's a lot of stuff you can get from this. Also, prismarine shards and crystals are very rare, but you can also get those. Now, step 4 is the sluice box. The sluice box is crafted with 6 oak logs, 2 planks, and 2 stone. I correct myself. This can actually be any log. But once we get a sluice box, we place this in water, and it works the same as the collection net, just for minerals. There we go. After some time, we have our drops in the sluice box. And to point out, you know something is in there when it has the green particles above. But we got coal nugget, we got sand, we got gravel. We can also get all the ore nuggets except for netherite.
Boom! Zane, we have our first sluice box. We are now washing up some minerals. I intentionally chose the texture for this thing so that you could use it for roofs. So if you like pair it with a roof, so you can have like a short slanted roof, this would be really good for building blocks. So I'm gonna work on continuing to collect more of those. If you want to continue trying to get down to the lush cave, so we can be collecting minerals up here and down in the cave at the same time, and hopefully get iron tools by the end of the day. We have 2 sluice boxes, so I'll check this when I get back. I'm gonna go on an adventure, Fire Zane. I'll be back. I hear a spider. Oh no. It's a spawner. Oh my gosh. I found an almost surface spider spawner. Oh my gosh. This is awesome. I was looking for string, and instead of finding gravel so I could farm twine, I accidentally found the most OP thing I could have found for this. A spider spawner on the surface. Alright, we have our first collection net, which also doubles as a decorative basketball hoop. Alright, so we're gonna slowly be collecting minerals in the boxes and the fish in the collection nets. Fish and other things. I think you can get like a saddle, a lily pad. He says I think, as if he didn't make the mod though.
Alright, the next step is hydration. No, I did not add a thirst bar. I wanted to add a hydration but make it optional for players who don't want to worry about it. So here's the solution I came up with. First thing we need to do is harvest some water from here. And then we have this new item, the sand filter. The sand filter is crafted with 3 planks, 1 slab, 1 sand. And we place our water bottles in it to slowly purify them. Hydration is needed to cure certain effects, including the thirst effect and the ill effect. Mobs have a 1 in 50 chance to spawn with the ill effect, which allows them to sneeze on you, and when you have the ill effect, you are no longer able to have saturation, which means you have to eat all the time. And the thirst effect causes you to take damage in sunlight, possibly burn in sunlight, and also gives you nausea occasionally. Now all that yapping, we have our spring water in here, and spring water isn't completely safe to drink, so we do have to cook it one more time on a campfire. There we go. And now we have our purified water. Before we drink it, let's check out these new effects. First, the thirst effect. We're in open sunlight, so we are getting nausea right now. But we should also... Yep, we're taking sun damage. We're taking sun damage. Okay. So we have to drink the purified water to cure it. There we go. After we drank the purified water, we got the new hydrated effect, which actually makes you run faster.
Have you noticed that the player is slightly slower in this mod because we need hydration to go faster? We actually haven't we haven't even thought about that. We need to set up a hydration station.
Next, we're going to try out the ill effect, which will occasionally have us sneeze, which is just kind of annoying, but also our saturation is completely gone. We're not allowed to have saturation when we have the ill effect, so let's just drink this and get that to stop. Forgot to point out that the ill effect only has a 1/8 chance to get cured by purified water, so it's slightly annoying, but you can also sleep it out. Sleeping also has a chance to get rid of the effect.
Let's go, I'm hydrated! Look at me, I'm fast as frick, boy! Whee! The longer you run with the hydrated effect, the faster it goes down. So if you want to, like, preserve the hydration, you, like, can't run at all. Oh, I found it! Yo!
Oh, wait,
YOLO boat clutch! I missed, but I didn't die. It wasn't that low. My spot is higher up if you want to try to... Yeah, look where I'm... Oh, there's water right here. Do you see where I am?
Ow. Okay.
We're only getting raw iron nuggets. Well, I wanted to slow down progression. This certainly does it. We are popping off out here. We got 48 raw iron nuggets, which is only going to give us 5 raw iron, but that's better than nothing, and it's a start. We also have something in the collection net. It's a salmon. Look at this, look at this. Boom! Shield!
Yo,
Let's go!
that's gonna help a lot.
Yep,
Okay.
I got 5 iron. I got 48, I think, raw iron nuggets, and it only made 5 iron. This is so whoa.
Let's go, I got some kelp.
What was that you just got? What was that?
Sneezing effect. Or the...
Oh, are you sick? You have the illness effect?
yeah.
Where did you get illness from a mob?
Probably a skeleton. I'm not...
Oh my gosh.
Do shovels not break? Because I've... Oh, creeper.
Now, I'm getting pretty hungry, so it's time to check out step 5, the cutting boards. And we have some smokers and some cutting boards set up. We have paper under the cutting board so it doesn't slide when we're cutting. And what we need to do is use a sword to butcher up some animals. So in this mod, there's a new function called mercy killing. If you one-shot an animal, it's gonna drop its normal drops. And if you don't one-shot an animal, like I'm gonna double hit this cow, it's going to drop its carcass. And that applies to these 5 animals right here: the sheep, the cow, the pig, the rabbit, and the chicken. So if we go here and we hit the pig, we're gonna get our pork carcass. If we double hit the rabbit, and it's pretty hard not to one-hit rabbits and chickens, so you're gonna have to be doing it for a specific reason. But there's our rabbit carcass, and then let's get our chicken carcass, and then lastly, we haven't gotten the sheep one yet. Right there. There we go. So these are the 5 carcass textures. I think they're pretty cool. They're mostly just have bones sticking out and they're bloody, and the chicken one has a chicken foot in it, which I thought was pretty funny. And the mutton one's my favorite, even though it's the simplest, because it's just a rotated mutton texture, as you can see, but with a Minecraft bone sticking out of it. So I think these textures are pretty funny. Now, to actually be able to eat these carcasses, you have to butcher them. So you put a carcass in the first slot, a sword in the second slot, and that will give you drops. There's a 75% chance to get their meat drop, but then a 25% chance for all the other drops. Now, as you guys saw, or as you guys heard me mention, we now have new drops for cows and pigs that are only obtainable through these carcasses. First, we have our raw bacon, which we already got one, but we're gonna get another one. There we go. And we have our raw jerky. So let's put raw jerky, let's put bacon in there. And once we cook these items, they are going to give us some new food items that are actually really, really good, because these food items have 14 saturation involved, which means that they're gonna fill up a lot of saturation. They don't fill up as many hunger bars as the normal cooked pork or cooked beef, but if you're looking for not eating as often, it might be worth getting these foods. And last feature in this version of Reasonable Progression is the Viewer Garden. I work on this mod live on stream quite often, so whenever someone donates, any size donation, they will get a flower in the Viewer Garden of this mod. So the first one we have is the Lilium for my viewer Enlium, then we have the Glue Lip for my viewer Glue Gunner, and then I had to add 2 flowers for my lovely girlfriend Kane, obviously. So we have the Nyla Kane flower based on the blue water lily, and then you can actually place the water lily on a lily pad, which I think is a really cool feature. So just like that, and now you have a Nyla Kane lily, which is really cool. And then we have the Dragon's Bane flower, which is going to receive a new texture in version 2, but this is what it looks like for now, and this is for Darastrix. And the Viewer Garden actually is present inside of your advancement menu, so you can use this as a way to kind of collect all the different flowers. I'm not going to tell you guys where they spawn. Have fun figuring that out. Oh my gosh, I found the first new flower! Yo! Let's go! Alright, we found a swamp. I am currently 4,000 blocks from the base, but we found a swamp. There is one new flower I think I can find here. Which one is the one I can find here? So we can actually make our own Nyla Kane lily pad by placing it. And apparently it's not working. How did I break it? Wait, what? I had to relog chat, but I made it work. We now have a Nyla Kane lily pad and a new challenge advancement for the special lily pad. And the item texture is really basic, but I really like it. I like it anyway. But now we have to find an extra Nilocane flower because now we don't have one because we replaced it with the lily pad. And there's glue lips, a whole patch of them right here. And then I think I see a Nilocane in the distance right over there. So yeah, this is going to be the end of the stream, but not the end of the video, so if you're watching this, don't click off. Alright, for only one version so far of Reasonable Progression, we've done a considerable amount of things on the server. We have my tent over here, my first base. We have Fiery Zane's tent over here that he doesn't even quite live in yet. We have Glue Gunner's base over here. We have Dara, who's just repeatedly dying over at spawn, and I don't feel like running over there. But then we have our sand filters and our campfire setup and our communal mine. This chest is mostly just a bunch of stuff that we have gotten from the collection nets so far, and we got one prismarine, which is pretty rare, and we got some decent stuff. We're one raw iron nugget away from crafting raw iron from Sluice boxes alone, which is pretty nice. But then over here we have my beautiful base, my beautiful house. It wasn't going great at first, but I think I managed to pull it together. I would like if the grass in the front here would grow, but I included some of the new flowers that I found for the build in the front, and then up here we have our chests, our bed. Up here we have a kitchen with our cutting board. We have an unused room on the other side, and then we have two porches on either side of the front. So next time I'll probably work on updating this house as well as finding whatever new features I add by the next episode, and I'd like to fill in the viewer garden a little bit more. I'm upset I didn't find the Lilium or the Dragon's Bane, but by the next version we're also going to have at least 2 more new flowers that are already being worked on. So yeah, we have a lot to do. Thank you guys for watching this video. Next time, I'm going to be adding silk trees to Reasonable Progression, so if you want to see that, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Become a channel member if you want to join this server when I go live on it and record these showcases. And if you want to have features of your own added to the mod, be sure to check out the streams, donate to the streams, and any size donation gets one of these fancy flowers named after you in the mod.